Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Sperging Out Podcast. My name is Mitch Grace. I am the author of the book Sperging Out. No, wait, that's not it. That's not what it's called. That's the name of the podcast. The book is called Growing Up with Asperger's: Lessons Learned and Shareable Wisdom, on Amazon right now in paperback, in Kindle, and now on audiobook format. Links in the description. And I'm joined, as always, by my co-host extraordinaire.
Thank you for having me. I'm a behavioral therapist, and I work with individuals with autism. You made primarily adults and teenagers.
And thank you for joining me, as always, co-host extraordinaire. And so what we're going to do on the podcast today is we've teased this a little bit, but we are in previous episodes, but we are going to set up an account, a dating app called Hiki, which Hiki, not sure why I keep wanting to say A, but it is a dating app that apparently is supposed to be for neurodivergent people or autistic people, or at least when I first created an account years ago, it advertised itself as a dating app for autistic people, not just neurodivergent people. I'm looking on the iOS Apple App Store, and it currently has 3.5 out of 5 stars out of 677 reviews. And let's see, Hiki, autism, ADHD, and ND dating. ND, I'm assuming, says
neurodivergent. That's just like a catch-all term. Does it show how many downloads or active users there are?
Let's see here.
That's important to know how many people actually use the dating app.
That's a good question.
If you use a dating app and only 1,000 people are using it, you're not going to have a good time.
I'm not sure. It's not on the review page, on the app page. So
we'll find out once we're in the app.
Yes. And speaking of the app, I've already downloaded it, and it's asking me to sign up create a profile and whatnot. So here we go. Welcome to Hiki, your journey, your space. Hiki is more than just an app. It's a community. This platform was created by and for neurodivergent people to have a safe space to explore and celebrate our diversity. Yeah, more on that in a bit. We are committed to creating an inclusive environment for all users to find friendship, love, and a true sense of belonging. Our team accomplishes this by maintaining a strict policy against racism, and also, co-host extraordinaire, the words against and racism, there's no space between them.
There is no space. We maintain a strict policy against racism, transphobia, misogyny, ableism, body shaming, bullying, harassment, and any other form of intolerant behavior.
Yeah, so that's something my autistic ass noticed right away.
That's the front page, right? That's a landing page?
It's like
the description of the app.
Like it asks, like I clicked sign up. It asked me, it asked me for my phone number because it sent me a code, and then I entered the code, and then this is what I'm reading.
Okay.
So we're still in the sign up process. And then after the whole no hate speech, essentially, it says, while we ask that you report posts or users that make you feel unwelcome or unsafe, we also encourage discussion in the community. A safe space is only created when we hold ourselves and those around us accountable for the ways that our actions affect each other. Remember that we are here to connect, so please be kind. I'm very curious how they enforce this. Let's get started. We're excited to meet you. What's your name? Well, my name is Mitch Grace. That is the name of moi. It's asking me for my email, which I'm going to put in real quick. I'm not going to say what it is, for obvious reasons. So
once you get to the part where it asks for your social security number, please read that out loud, though. For our viewers.
Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny. All right, so when is my birthday? I'm going to put...
This is like the normal questions you'd expect on a dating app.
Yep, I'm going to put January 1st. Let's go 1990. It's not my actual birthday, but, why not?
Sure, yeah.
That puts me at 33.
Yeah.
Get notified. Skip for now. What connections are you looking for? So it has dates and friends.
Okay, yeah, a lot of the new dating apps have friends sections and date sections.
Yeah, like...
because so many people would make a dating app and be like, I'm just looking for friends. And you're like, why are you here?
Right.
That's not... If you need friends, go outside.
Like to Bumble's credit, they have an entirely different section for friends or even like workplace connections and networking and whatnot, and
like
dating
LinkedIn stuff.
and dating stuff. I don't know if Tinder does this. I'm not on dating apps anymore. But
last I checked, Tinder had like an option where you pick, I'm looking for just friendship.
Okay, so
of course, there's still a lot of people who put that they're looking for relationships, and they're like, I'm just looking for friends, and you're like, why are you doing this?
That's dumb.
But you can't force users to be honest.
Yes. So it asks for dates and friends, there's a little tick box, and then there's something you can swipe on or off that says allow only friendship requests. So I'm going to click dates. Cool. I'm going to click dates.
I like the idea of completely locking out one or the other so you don't get mixed up.
Choose your first photo. Let your personality shine and express the real you. Oh, jeez. Okay, pick photo from library. Limit access. I'm just going to pick one picture of me because I really don't want to have to pick a whole bunch of flippity-dippity pictures.
I'm trying to think of a catfishing joke. I'm just going to say you're picking pictures that don't look like you. Why are you putting pictures of me on there? That's not...
Oh, wouldn't that be the day? What's a picture of just me? I don't have a whole lot of those on my phone.
Yeah, me neither. I always have to Photoshop pictures, like group photos, because I don't take selfies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a... I don't know about you, but I just don't like getting my picture taken.
I find my picture being taken, I don't know, I don't take pictures of myself when I'm just alone. What's the point?
Yeah, that's... I'm not an avid... Oh.
What?
Oh, I found the picture.
Oh, no.
I found the picture. We absolutely have to do...
No.
We absolutely...
I can't see the picture, but the look on his face is menacing.
It has to be this. It absolutely has to be this.
So for those of you who are listening to the podcast and not psychically viewing it, it is a picture of... It's how old are you in this picture, Mitch?
Oh, geez. I was high school. This is high school.
Is a high school photo of Mitch riding Thomas the Tank Engine while he holds his fist up in the air like he's riding into battle.
Now, to clarify...
This may get you banned from the app.
Now, bear in mind, this is not like a life-size Thomas the Tank Engine. No, this is
it's like a children's like ride toy, like go-kart size.
Oh, 100%. Oh, and guess where this was taken? Obviously in a toy store, but guess where?
Where?
This was taken, I don't think it's there anymore, but this was taken in the giant 2-story Toys R Us in New York City.
Oh, well, that's at least kind of cool. You can at least talk about that.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, I saw this picture and I was like, oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to choose this picture. I'm going to go to next. Add some more photos. Oh, do I absolutely have to?
Yeah, they usually expect you to have at least like 4 or 5 photos, because then they're going to ask you to like make sure who you are.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, last time I used the dating app, they made me like hold up my driver's license and take a photo. So they're like, you got to make sure you're not like a creepazoid or a faker.
So here's the second picture I'm going to do.
All right, it's another high school picture of Mitch with what looks to be a Lego Hulk toy about to crush, or Lego Hulk statue about to crush him.
Yes, this is from that same Toys R Us trip.
This is actually a speed run for getting banned off the app. They're gonna send a message being like, "You didn't break any of the rules specifically, but you know what you did."
Here's another one.
That's another high school picture with Lego Batman in the background. Oh my god!
You know it. It wouldn't be a picture of it wouldn't be a high school picture of me without Batman involved in some way.
Oh my gosh!
You're learning so much about me, co-host extraordinaire. This is when this next picture is when me and my best friend cosplayed as Scott Pilgrim versus the World characters for Comic-Con.
That's pretty good. I see it. Yeah, that one makes sense. I mean, aside from the fact that you're not 16 anymore.
Yeah, man. I don't think my hair's been that long since. Okay, one more picture.
You're gonna be put on a watch list after this episode, by the way.
Why?
I don't know, catfishing like high schoolers with your high school photos, maybe.
I will be deleting this profile once we're done with the episode.
I
I'm just
know.
going to make that very
I'm
clear.
just giving you a hard time.
Okay, now it's asking me where do I live, and it gives me the option to skip. So
Yeah, we'll skip for now because where do you live is just so they can match you with people that are nearby, but we're not
yeah,
actually going to be matching with anyone. We're
yeah,
just looking at how the app works and its process.
yes. And so next is which gender best describes you, and it gives me the option of man, woman, non-binary, and it also gives me the option to show this or not show this on the profile.
Okay, that's pretty standard. So what do you put in? Because I always wondered.
I'm putting man.
Oh, okay.
Although interestingly, upon selecting man, it does give me an option to add more about your gender, and then
What is? Oh, like a description.
yes,
Well, that's kind of neat because then you could really describe like if you are trans. Because I noticed it didn't have trans or anything; it just said non-binary, which usually you want to be a little more specific.
yeah. So I'm not going to put anything here. Attention, are you sure you want to go back? All changes you made will be lost. Yes, I want to go back. So I'm gonna click not show on profile because I mean look at me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah.
Again, we're not actually going to be matching anyone. We're just seeing. I'm just waiting for the autism part, like the neurodivergent questions.
yeah, and then next is who would you like to match with? Men, women, non-binary, and then I'm gonna pick women. And then okay, now a new screen pops up that says, now let's build your profile. This is the opportunity to give the world an overview of who you are and how you want to connect. Our prompts will encourage you to dive deeper into the things that matter most when meeting someone new, such as your communication styles, support needs, and your core interests. Okay. We find that genuine profiles lead to genuine connections. So express yourself and find your people. And this is what the screen looks like. Co-host extraordinaire.
Okay, that's pretty standard dating app.
Yeah.
Obviously, the support section is specifically for people with neurodivergence.
Okay, so my top traits. It's asking me to select 6, and it gives me like a list here.
Okay.
And I'd like to read some of them before I show you
ahead.
again, co-host extraordinaire. One is always late, bottom-up thinker, creative, forgetful, good listener, high energy, literal, logical, low spoons.
That means you don't like cuddling. I think spoons, if that's what it means, like
Okay.
spooning. I would guess. Otherwise, I don't know.
Loyal, passionate, rule follower, sarcastic, serious, silly, special interest oriented, strong sense of justice, strong-willed, talkative, and top-down thinker.
Okay, all of those are pretty good descriptors. Special interest oriented is a weird one. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, like
But yeah, strong sense. These are actually pretty good options because I know people who fit like these criteria, and that would be a good descriptor of them.
I agree here. So for me personally,
literal is a good one too.
Yeah,
that's one that comes up a lot.
And that's the first one I'm gonna select, and it also gives me an option to show on the profile, which I am gonna put on my profile. So let's see, literal. Let's see, high energy because this is the ADHD I got. Rural follower, yeah. Sarcastic, yeah. I pride myself on my sarcasm. The rare instances I get to use them. Strong sense of justice. I don't know about that one. Strong-willed, talkative. I'm very talkative. Strong-willed, yeah. I mean, just ask my girlfriend. I'm more stubborn than a log in a mud pit. And then you got, hey, it's a character flaw. I'm more than willing to talk about the fact that I'm very stubborn. I mean,
I was laughing more at the metaphor.
Oh,
I felt like something like an 80-year-old man would say.
Oh, well, well, you see there, kiddo.
You got to put that on the profile. Boomer at heart.
Or that's a more literal version than old soul. Am I right?
I remember my dentist when I was in high school told me I was an old soul after giving me a tooth cleaning, and I to this day still think about it because I didn't say anything to that dentist other than like the normal stuff you say when you get a teeth cleaning.
Really?
And so I still don't know what he meant.
Interesting. So the last one, I'm going to put good listener. And it also gives me the option to either search or write my own prompt. So
that's good. Yeah, I was thinking there needs to be more prompts in there because those are good, but there needs to be a little more diversity in what you can put down, like putting that you're easily distracted or that you switch hobbies or interests quickly, common ADHD things, because those do affect a relationship heavily for sure.
Okay, so it gave me the option to search or write my own, and I typed in the letter A, and look at all of these that came up.
Whoa, I guess it just takes whatever anyone else has put. Adventurous, artistic, assertive, attentive. Wow. Abstract reasoner. Oh, there's a lot in here. This is a bunch. Okay, so there is a lot of options if you type stuff in, and they're pretty good, mostly. I'm fair.
As opposed to being unfair?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think anyone would say the opposite, right? That seems a little insane.
That's kind of implied.
Dialectical thinker, communicative, imaginative. Okay, yeah, these are pretty good. This is actually surprisingly thorough.
So kudos to you there. Kudos to the
Yeah.
app there. What if I want to write my own? What would I say? Career.
Oriented?
Yeah, I typed in career. Granted, I misspelled it, but now that I correct the spelling, nothing pops up.
Weird. You'd think career oriented would be pretty common.
So I put
Maybe, well, no, maybe employed and unemployed, but I don't. That's not really saying the same thing.
I put in EMP, and I got empathetic and empowering. So
Okay.
nothing about employed or unemployed or what about? Let me put
Empathetic.
ambitious. I'm gonna try putting in ambitious, and I put in AMBI. Nothing come up, just dynamic.
Interesting. You can still type your own entirely, though, right?
Let
You come up
me
with a completely custom one.
come up with it.
Because yeah, ambitious feels like one that you would definitely put on a profile. It's a big one.
Okay, yeah, I put that in
Okay,
there.
then yeah, if you can put customs down, that's fine.
So, alrighty. And I am going to put this on my profile.
Yeah.
It only gives me an option of 6. I'm curious if that changes, but as we go along.
That's probably for the best. You don't want too many, because then everyone's going to pick too many, and then it becomes hard for the algorithm to match people really accurately.
That's a good point. So, next. All right, next is communication styles. You want to take a look at that?
That's a good one.
Extraordinaire?
Oh, okay. Well, the first one's AAC, which is an alternative communication device. That usually means the person is nonverbal and has to use a device to speak.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
Artwork sharing, casual conversation, conversation prompts. That usually means that they need prompting in conversation, so you have to ask them questions to get them to talk.
Yeah, I get that.
Direct and literal. Echolalia means they tend to repeat what other people say around them. Excited interrupter. That's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Friendly spamming. I don't know what that means. Maybe sends a lot of text messages or memes. In-person meetups, info dumping, less is more, making playlists. That's old school.
I thought that was a big thing with like sharing Spotify playlists and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a thing.
I've never had a girl try that with me, but I guess that's a thing. I remember back in the day when I had a girl make a tape deck for me.
Right. I don't know, because you and I actually knew someone when we were in that club together that someone was rather upset, and they made a Spotify playlist called Men Are Trash.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
And this person is going to remain nameless.
And then they played it in the club on screen, right, where everyone could read it or something?
I don't remember.
How did we find out about this playlist?
Either what you described happened and I wasn't there for it, or it was during an after party.
Oh, okay. I do remember at some point, because I remember that very explicitly. They played it, and then eventually someone was like, "Why is it called that? What's up with the title?"
Anyways, keep going.
But yeah, they have pen pal writing, which also again very old school.
I can see the romantic applications.
Yeah, topic specific conversation, video calls, and voice calls. These are actually these cover a lot of it. This is actually really good. They honestly should put this communication style setup on every dating app, because these are genuinely good questions. Because I would definitely put in-person meetups, because I loathe that period of texting where you just have to send awkward text messages for a week. It's I'd rather just meet up in person so we can immediately know if we have chemistry or not.
Exactly. What happens if you type something in that isn't on there?
Let's see.
You mentioned video calls. What about?
Oh yeah, a bunch of stuff come up. Oh, a bunch of weird stuff. Origami paper crafts. I'm not sure if that's a communication style, but that comes up.
Yeah.
Online gaming strategy / tips, coding and programming.
These sound like more
poetry slams. I think this is a generic. It just brings up any of the tags.
Yeah.
Geocaching. I only communicate through geocaching.
What's geocaching?
How do you describe geocaching? So it's this, I guess, cultural phenomenon that started with these apps where people would place markers at cool locations, and then you would open a geocaching app and it would tell you, go to this location. And when you get there, you would get in-game points or something. And it was just a way to travel to places that people thought were neat.
So kind of like Pokemon Go, kind of?
Yeah, but instead of going to where the Pokemon are, you're going to places that people have individually marked, which can be cool, can be bad. There was that story a couple years back about a serial killer who used geocaching to mark where he killed or left the bodies, so people found them while geocaching. So a bit scary. But most of the time, it's just people being like, I really like the back alley graffiti behind this coffee shop. Let me geocache it.
Please tell me that serial killer got caught.
I'm sure they did.
That's not 100% confirmed, which makes me nervous. But
stargazing, genealogy research.
Again, this isn't communication styles.
GIF exchanges. That's what's up. I only communicate in GIFs. If you want a word out of me, sorry, bud.
I mean,
these are definitely These are definitely just like all the tags though, because some of them are like scrapbooking, and that's not.
I mean, gift giving is a quote unquote love language, but
GIF, like animated GIF.
Oh, GIF.
Sorry, my bad. Yes.
I was going to say, hold on, gift exchanging. I feel like that's a valid one.
Gardening success.
As opposed to gardening mediocrity?
I garden failure and only failure.
All right, so I'm just gonna go back to the standard ones. All right, let's go casual conversation, direct and literal. I like gaming.
No, you're never gonna date.
Thanks. Excited interrupter, in-person meetups, info dumping. I do that.
Oh, yeah.
Just ask me about Batman. And then let's see next. Okay, you identify with, and it's same format as last time. It gives me a bunch of stuff.
Is this going to be like actual? Okay, so these are the actual like neurodivergent labels.
Yes.
So we have ADHD, ARFID.
What?
I don't actually know that one. I mean, I probably would if it was actually written out, but ARFID doesn't ring a bell. Attachment trauma, autism, bipolar, cerebral palsy, depression, Down syndrome, DPD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, hallucinations, highly sensitive person. That's an interesting one. Intellectually disabled, mood swings, OCD, recovering people pleaser, social avoidance, stutterer, and Tourette's. So yeah, this covers a lot of things. I mean, obviously, there's got to be more. Let me type in some just to see, like.
Yeah, what happens when you do that?
Philosophical thinking. I'm not sure if that's. That doesn't really. I mean, like. I'll make a joke, but I'm not sure if that goes. I don't think that goes with the rest of these.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. So if you put it in, like, they have akathisia, agraphia. They have like every condition known to man. Neurosyphilis, which neurosyphilis is an extreme one. So like.
Would you mind typing in dysgraphia? I want to see if it's on there. DISGRA. I mean,
dysgraphia. Yep.
Okay, sweet.
Tic disorder, panic disorder, sleep disorder, bipolar disorder, conduct disorder. Yeah, it covers everything. Whoa. Language disorder, learning disorders, Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, List-Nachin. Oh, okay.
These are more.
We're reaching the point where I don't know what these are.
I mean, it sounds like these are more physical.
Poland syndrome.
The syndrome is that you're in Poland.
Yeah, that's like the joke I want to make, but I'm afraid Poland syndrome might be something awful, so I don't want to make that joke. I
mean, these are.
But yeah, these cover all your bases. I mean, like, you name it, it's on here.
They do, but like the initial prompt is for like neuro divergent stuff, and this is more getting into like physical ailments.
I feel like that still counts though. Like,
that's true.
Having a physical disability does affect your ability to date, depending. Like, if you have muscular dystrophy, that's something that will come up in a relationship. Like, you can't not acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Vascular dementia. Whoa.
Huh. Like
interesting.
Vascular, like.
I don't actually know that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm learning a bunch of stuff too.
Amnesia. Okay, so there's all sorts of stuff in here. It covers every base you could possibly come up with, and then some.
Yeah. So, all right. So the ones I'm going to select for myself, yours truly, is I'm going to go ADHD, autism. Let's see. I don't have a stutter. I don't have Tourette's. I'm not a recovering people. Well, I don't know about recovering people. Please, I think my girlfriend would be like, "Yeah, you're." Okay, so other than I'd have to do a big search on the other stuff. So I'm just gonna move on. ADHD, autism, recovering people pleaser, and dysgraphia. So next, your support needs.
Oh, again,
okay. A bunch of
stuff.
That's
actually really cool to have that separate. So again, it starts with AAC, which is alternative communication devices, attention variation, body doubling, caregiver support, chronic pain, consistency, COVID conscious, decision fatigue, deep pressure, delivery pickup service. earplugs, fidget toys, quiet spaces, one-on-one, sign language. So yeah, these are all the things you would expect for like any of those previous listed disabilities or neurodivergences. Like, this is really good to have these separated. I was actually worried it wouldn't separate these. But yeah, that's a really good way, because like saying you have autism doesn't really mean anything. You
Yeah.
need to put like what specific, like how is your autism manifest? What supports do you actually need? Like, you
Yeah.
know, one person with autism is, pretty much normal, like neurotypical in most situations, whereas someone else with autism might be nonverbal, which very big difference there.
Very.
Yeah. So this is pretty awesome actually. Uh yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Weighted vests. Wow, that olfactory stimulation, like they have all sorts of things in here. Stuff that it'd be hard to remember to put these on here. This is actually really good. I am impressed.
That is good to know. That is good to know. Let's see. Your support needs. I'm gonna go back and see this. Okay. Um, attention variation. What's that?
I don't actually know.
Like to me, it sounds like it when like to me it sounds like when there's will be instances where I'm like, okay, I don't want to be.
I want no attention right now. I
Yeah,
want all the attention right now, that kind of thing.
yeah, like there are instances where like, hey, I want to cuddle with you, and other instances where I'm like, I need to isolate. I need to
Yeah,
cool off.
that may be what it
So,
means. I mean, I know a lot about autism, but I don't know a lot about every single one of these conditions.
so I'm gonna go attention variation. I'm also gonna click fidget toys, quiet spaces. I like routines. Um, visual schedule. I like having that. And then I'm gonna go one-on-one. I'm not exactly sure what that's like. One-on-one. Now that's if in the context of support needs, I don't really need one-on-one. I don't have a doctor to go visit. I mean, I don't see a therapist either. So I'm just gonna put those 5. And
Yeah.
we're gonna hit next. Okay, introduce yourself. Don't be shy. Write a bio so others can get to know you better. If you aren't sure what to say, don't stress. You can skip this for now and update it later. So, for the sake of content, co-host, go ahead, have at it.
You want me to write your bio for you?
Yes, and like, you can either be serious, you can make it funny,
Okay.
you can call me a terrorist.
I'm tempted to say you really like Thomas the Tank Engine and Lego Batman after those photos, but
Honestly, I'm not gonna stop you.
writing the bios are always difficult. Like, even when I'm writing my own bios, I don't really know what to write. Like, it's so weird to try to distill yourself down to like what 200 characters or something.
Yeah.
This one allows you 3,000 characters, which is wild. Because if someone wrote a 3,000 character bio, I can assure you no one's going to read it.
Yeah.
That's way too much.
Yeah.
I went to write ambitious, and it autocorrected to ambiguous. You're ambiguous, apparently.
I am ambiguously ambitious. How ambitious are you? Depends. That's ambiguous for you. Let's see. So while my co-host is writing my bio, which I'm certain either he's going to read for me or I'm going to read for it. I'm going to try not to laugh.
I'm actually writing a genuine bio.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. So while he does that, initial thoughts. Yeah, it's very thorough. It's different from what I saw when I initially joined the dating app way back when. This was around 2021, 2022 maybe. It's like height of COVID, absolute height of COVID. And so there are a few other questions that I'm curious if I'm going to see in there. So far, I haven't seen it, which I'm going to bring it up now because we may see it later or we may not. It's called "What is my favorite stim?" And this is a question I couldn't skip. I could not skip this question. Is like, what's my favorite stim? And I didn't know what I didn't know what a stim was.
It's weird that you can't skip that.
And so I was like, what's my favorite stim? And it gave me options, and I don't remember being able to write out my own options. So I think I just picked one at random, and I think it was fidgeting. I think I ended up picking that because sometimes I do like to fidget. So I think that's what I did, but it was weird. But I haven't seen the question yet. I'm wondering if that falls under, support, the type of support you need. Excuse me. So I'm very curious about that. How's it coming along, co-host extraordinaire?
Almost done.
Sweet. So far, very thorough. I am pleasantly surprised and impressed. I'm actually curious I am actually curious. My co-host extraordinaire brought it up. You brought it up earlier about what's the active for user base right now? Is it like 1,000? Is it 10,000? Is it 100,000? As opposed to like apps like Bumble and Tinder and Hinge that have supposed millions of users at the same time. So very curious what that says.
Okay, here you go.
Alrighty, thank you. Alrighty, here it is. Ambitious and capable, a real go-getter. I've written a book about growing up with autism, and I have put in a lot of effort to overcome social roadblocks in my life. I'm living my life to fullest and looking to share it with someone else who loves trains as much as I do.
Had to put that little one in there at the end.
That's very fair, considering the first picture is me riding a miniature Thomas.
Riding Thomas.
All right, so I clicked next because I really liked that. Thank you very much. And here it is. Here is choosing your interests.
Okay, so this is probably going to be... Yeah, this is mostly the same what you'd see. Anime, manga, arts and crafts. AUDHD. I don't actually know what that is.
I don't either.
Dating. That's an odd one to put on a
I'm interested in dating.
Yeah, like it's a dating profile, I would hope.
Yeah.
Fashion and beauty, feedback and suggestions, food and drink, funny stuff.
Funny stuff? That's so vague.
I mean, these are all kind of vague. I mean, general's on here. That's vague.
Yeah, that's
I just like things.
with a capital V, vague.
LGBTQ, nature and animals, pets, politics. Yeah, these are like what you'd expect to see on like any sensory and stimming. I guess is different, but that's not that different. That's normal dating profile.
All right, so I'm going to select lifestyle and travel, nature and animals. I'm not a big anime and manga fan, so I'm going to skip that one. Food and drinks, I do consider myself a foodie. TV and movies.
Have you ever met anyone who wasn't a foodie? Now I think about it, just out loud. Like, I've never met someone who's like, I don't really care what I eat.
I mean, to me, a foodie is someone who actively goes out of their way and tries new cuisines and new locations and whatnot.
I guess that makes sense.
And I do consider myself one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
So I selected for my interests food and drinks, gaming, lifestyle and travel, nature and animals, and TV and movies. I'm going to select next. Get the conversation going, started with some prompts. And then there you are, co-host, because
let's see.
I'm not really sure how to describe this.
Oh, okay, so this is a new thing that's actually been added to a lot of dating apps, adding video, audio prompts, and your own custom prompts. Because when I first started using dating apps, they didn't have these prompts. They had like specific questions.
Yeah.
And now you can make up your own questions, which, I mean, I don't think we really need to do this, to be honest.
Is it giving you the option to skip?
Yeah, there's a skip for now button here.
But
okay. Oh, they actually have pre-made prompts. So let me read through some of these just to see if there's anything interesting.
Yes, like do you like trains? Or what's your favorite train? Do you like Sonic the Hedgehog?
A place I dream of visiting, my career aspirations, skills I like. Oh, these are like literally copy and pasted from other dating apps, like in the exact order that they give them to you.
Oh, hot damn.
Yeah, these are exactly the same. If I woke up in a world where I was famous, I would be famous for blank. That's a good one. Okay, here's some interesting ones. My current hyperfixation, movies that I watch on repeat.
Hyperfixation, Batman. Movies I watch on repeat. Well, actually, the last
little things that make my day. Oh, I like some of these. These are pretty good.
Little things that make my day.
My sensory icks. Ick is an ick.
High-pitched loud noises. I hate that shit.
Yeah, sensory experience I love. Okay, there's some here that are more specific for this app.
Yeah.
But a lot of this is just the stuff you would expect. There's actually a lot on here too. Like a lot, which is actually awesome. More options makes it a lot easier.
And you get to be more thorough as well.
Yeah. Guessing if I hit. Oh no, yeah, you can use the prompts for the video and the audio recording if you want to put your voice and stuff out there. I think for now we're gonna skip. We don't need to actually fill this out. What is your current relationship status? That's an interesting thing to put on a dating app. I guess it makes sense though in this day and age.
Yeah, with the I don't want to say rise, but like the increased
popularity,
prevalence,
acceptance. I don't know.
Like it's not. I feel like the amount of polyamory has been the same, but we're just seeing more of it. sense of
Yeah.
social media.
It's more in the Overton window.
Yeah,
Or the
so
cultural zeitgeist.
yeah, that. So I'm just gonna put single. Well, for the purposes of this, I'm single, even though in real life I am not. I'm gonna pick next, and then safety tips. It's a pink screen, and it just gives you a bunch of stuff. Safety tips. Hickey exists so that amazing relationships and communities can grow, but always take precautions and follow these guidelines to help you stay safe. And then always meet and stay in public places where other people are present. Don't give out your personal phone number or address. Tell your friends or family about your plans. Have your own transportation plans to and from the meeting, and don't get into a car with someone you don't know very well. Stay sober. Never send money or share your personal details, such as identification cards, banking information, or social security details. Report all suspicious behavior to Hickey and have fun, be yourself.
All right, so that's the usual like blurb you get on all the dating apps to be like, hey, don't get like killed or robbed or scammed, please.
Yep. There are scams out there.
Oh yeah, dating apps are full of scams, unfortunately.
And then got it, let's go. I'm going to click that. Hickey would like to send you notifications. Don't allow. Enable location. And then this is the app. Do you want to, well...
Here, I can look through it for you and just like see how it functions and how its UI is laid out.
Yeah, you're much more technically advanced than I in that aspect, so please go ahead.
Introducing a news feed. You have a community news feed. Oh, it's got like a tutorial. I didn't. This is actually wild. These things don't usually have tutorials. Okay. I don't understand what the point of a news feed is. So these are other non-matches. These are dudes posting about playing like World of Warcraft and going to food trucks and drinking wine. I don't. Huh. Interesting. I'm not exactly sure why there's like a Facebook-esque news feed on here because that doesn't really. It's not like a dating thing.
Yeah, that confuses me as well.
Oh, okay. So you can't look at matches until you put your location down, which makes sense because like they have to be nearby. But I'll look through the other stuff. Oh, so there's like different news feeds for different interests.
Again, I'm not really sure what the point of the news feed is. I'm curious if the news feed adjusts at all once you put in your notifications. Like maybe it's more centered to people around you than is their news feed. It's like, oh, I just went to the mall today and I checked out the museum at the exhibit.
Okay, so interesting. So yeah, this is like a lot of social media stuff on here that's unrelated to dating, just like people posting about, you know, whatever. Like this is a social media platform. There are people posting memes just like this is Facebook. Okay. That's interesting. So it's not just dating matches. There's also a social media aspect, which I think is a neat idea to integrate the two. Because then you could naturally have conversations with people on their social media posts.
Yeah.
Because these aren't friends. These are just random people that are popping up on the newsfeed.
Yeah.
And that might spur on some kind of chemistry.
Well, Hickey's thing is that is the whole, oh, we want to build a community. We want to build a community. So I'm like, oh, okay, that must be the community aspect of it.
Okay. There must be a good number of people on here too, because these posts are like within minutes.
Oh, wow.
Of one another. So there's enough people in here. I mean, it might shrink down once you put your location.
What kind of interactions are they getting?
It depends. Some of them are getting like 2, 4, 6, 10 comments. It depends on the post. Like some of these posts are just like people being like, I drank a bottle of wine today. And then there's one that's like, hey, today's my birthday, and they got like 14 responses and a bunch of upvotes and stuff.
Yeah.
People talking about what it's like to have ADHD or their autism and stuff like that.
Yep.
And just and I mean it's just like it's like Facebook, just like Facebook.
Anything? What else about the user interface catches your eye?
Let's see. The bottom bar is similar to other dating apps. There's a sidebar, and the sidebar functions like the sidebar on Facebook, actually.
Interesting.
So it lets you categorize conversations. Let's see.
Very interesting.
It's pretty usable, actually. This is actually a rather good like UX. I'm not annoyed like I am with so many others. I think it was Bumble. I can't remember if it was Bumble or Hinge where I was using it, and I was constantly on the wrong page because the match page looks just like here are the special girls that you have to spend money to actually match with.
That sounds like Hinge.
And the pages look so similar that I'd be like reading a profile and be like, oh, wait, I can't match with this person because they're not. They're in the exclusive dating pool for some reason.
Yeah, here's the spotlight. Whatever.
Yeah, that's so weird. You can even make little conversation groups on here.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
yeah, this is actually
Yeah.
pretty neat. I
More.
am impressed, and it did not ask about stims or anything like that,
Yeah.
which is honestly good. I mean, like there's a section where you can put stim information, but it didn't force you to be like, how much do you stim? What is your favorite stim? Because
Yeah.
it's I don't know, pigeonholing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Settings look good. I mean, everything looks good, and it's all pretty straightforward, pretty understandable. There is, of course, the classic get premium hickey, pay
Oh,
for the sparks, which is how you send someone an extra like,
oh, jeez.
and then boost, get 10 times the exposure. But that's every scummy dating app.
Yeah.
Actually, looking at the UX, I would be willing to bet that this app may be owned by the same company that owns all the other dating apps because it looks very similar.
Yeah, like I heard Bumble and Bumble and Tinder are owned by the same company.
Yeah, OkCupid, Match, no, OkCupid, Match, Bumble. They're pretty much all owned by the same company except
Yeah.
Hinge. I think
Yeah.
Hinge is the one that isn't.
Huh.
Match.com owns them all.
All right. Well, you're impressed by the UI. I am impressed with.
I thought that was pretty thorough, actually. I thought
Yeah.
that was really good. I was honestly ready to like make fun of it for trying to pigeonhole people with autism, but
Yeah.
honestly, it did a fantastic job.
I as well am pleasantly surprised. I mean, would I use this in my?
Were you single?
Yeah, if I were single, would I use this? I mean, now that I've seen it and now that it's much better from what I initially saw it, I probably would give it a shot.
Yeah, it doesn't seem bad at all.
I would give it a shot, and maybe in another lifetime I will, or another lifetime I would have. So, but until then, Hickey, co-host extraordinaire, since you work with autistic adults and whatnot, would you recommend Hickey?
Yeah, actually, now that I've seen it, I might. I mean, honestly, in the past when I've worked with my clients on dating, I just recommended them the normal dating apps because if you have a special needs, if you're autistic, doesn't mean you have to date someone who also has autism.
Yep.
But honestly, after seeing this app, I might recommend it because it's more general. It's not just people with autism, and it allows you to really put specific information about your needs and supports that may help find a closer match. That's all dependent on how good the algorithm is. Obviously, we didn't check how the matching works, so
Yes.
maybe it's like the other apps where it just kind of matches you randomly.
Yeah.
But if it matches you closely with what your support needs are, that would be really cool.
Indeed. So we're not. We should bear in mind we're not sponsored by Hickey. We have no relationship with Hickey or its parent company. But yeah, I was also thoroughly impressed. Much more impressed than when I first used the app all those years ago, and which I just didn't like. So I would also recommend trying out the free version. If you want to spend money on the app, that's your prerogative. But personally, I would just recommend get the free version because based on what I'm seeing here, that's all you really need.
Yeah, with my clients, I always recommend they don't pay for the app.
Exactly.
I know paying for the app does genuinely get you better matches because the way the scummy system's set up.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to be taken advantage of. That's what it feels like when you pay for these kind of apps.
Exactly. So to wrap up, we are both pleasantly surprised with Hickey. We both recommend it, the free version. And that is going to do it for us here at the Sperging Out Podcast. My name is Mitch Grace. I was thoroughly impressed with Hickey. I am the author of the book Growing Up with Asperger's, Lessons Learned and Shareable Wisdom in paperback, Kindle, and audiobook format on Amazon right now. Link is in the description. And always, I'm joined by my co-host extraordinaire.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Indeed it has, and we will see you all on the next episode.
Okay, totally up to you. But
Uh-huh.
do you want me to use that tail end for both the intro and the beginning? And I only ask because you messed up the intro.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes.